makers.
Run that back, turbo.
Millennial Vlogs, we're back again with another one for y'all. How would you like it? Whip the blended, whip it a blended. I'm finna whip it for y'all today. Finna whip it for y'all today. Whip it, blended, whip it, blended, whip it, reba, whip it. Finna whip it. Millennial Vlogs back again. How would you like it? You already know how we doing it. Whipping it today. We're finna whip it today. Finna whip it. Yeah, man. So, yeah, man. We're whipping it today. Yeah, man, I got a little something different today. Gonna do ourselves a little story time. Yeah, man, I figured let me spread a bit of my stories around. Spread a bit of information about, my history and where I'm coming from, and, so that you lot can kind of just understand who I am in general, So, yeah, man. I am Z. Don't know, I should give you my full name. Well, yeah, I might as well. Z Nyambo. Well, actually, here's a good one for y'all. So technically speaking, my birth name, my real name is Sikelezenkle. I even stumbled for a second there. Don't watch that. Listen. Don't judge that in any way whatsoever. I had a bit of hair that was coming out, I wasn't, I can say my name. Sikelezenkle. That's it right there. Sikelezenkle. So yeah, man, that's my first name. It means we ask for good things. And my middle names, well, actually, I'll just give you the one. My middle name is Daryl. Surname, you already know, Nyambo. But everybody calls me Z. I've been called Z since I was a kid. When I say a kid, we're talking, if anything, since like my earliest memories, very, very earliest memories. And yeah, I mean, Z has always been the name everyone calls me. My mom, she doesn't call me anything different. So, it's always been just a name that stuck. Should really be an official name put somewhere, but it doesn't need to be honest. It's not really, it goes without saying, it's one of them things, just goes without saying. It's not really necessary. But to be honest, I love my name. I didn't used to when I was a kid growing up. It was always a topic of discussion whenever I'd meet new people. It was always the name, the background, where are you from? And problem for me as a kid growing up, it was never like I was ever in a solid position or in a position where I was stable. I didn't have to keep explaining myself all the time about my name and my origins. We moved all the time. Like every, I don't know, maybe every 2 years, maybe 3 years, 4. The only place we kind of stuck was Milton Keynes, but even then, Milton Keynes, we moved around quite a lot, I ain't gonna lie. Even in and around Milton Keynes, ridiculous. I think we moved, let me think about it. It was that place, it was Shenley, then it was Shenley, Amtil, no. We went from Shenley, not Amtil, Shenley, Hanslope, then Amtil. I moved a couple times, Monkston. I was in Monkston. I lived in Conningborough as well. In Milton Keynes, it was about 4 times officially, just in one city. Just in one city. And in that one city, multiple schools as well. Shenley was one school, Radcliffe, Bletchley, Redbourne for a little bit. Don't judge me. And yeah, man, that was it. And it was all like three, four different, learning establishments in one city, meeting different people. So I've always had to kind of adjust, and I've always had to keep moving with the times. But it's one of them things, man. Like, I got used to it, and my name was always topic of discussion. It just always is. Most times when I meet people, more times I just tell them it's Z. It's only the people that say, "Is that actually your full name?" Like, really, really, really? And then I'm like, well, nah. Or I'll just be like, yeah. If they show resistance, then I kind of break down a bit. I'll let them. It breaks me down when I see resistance. I'm just like, I can't lie about my name. What does that make me? You know what I mean? It's like, I tell them straight up. But if they don't question it, I don't see the point. It's always the same response. I'm used to it personally. So for me being the guy, I'm just always getting, oh yeah, what's your full name? Sinclair. Ooh, I'll stick to Z. That's always the thing. Always. Trust me. Always the case. I'll stick to Z. I'm like, yeah, cool. No problem. It's all right. But I expected as such. I would have just rather not have even bothered saying the name. But to be honest, it's human interaction. That's how you're meant to give to get that response, whatever the response be, because that's how you get to know the person. It's all part of the natural cohesiveness of interacting with each other, for holding back information and stuff. It can come across, I don't know, I wouldn't say fugazi, but I just think, if you get asked a direct question, you lie about it. What's it saying about you? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. You're a liar, I'm just a liar, I guess. Or, I don't know, but with that, yeah, man, it's not really a big deal, but I've always moved around, as I say, all over the place. We've always had, different kind of houses. My parents love to get some plush, nice upgrades, good digs, you know what I mean? The houses we lived in, ooh. The first house we lived in was in London. When I first moved to the UK when I was about 5 years old. It was in London, North London, Tottenham sides. And it was in, what was it called again? I always forget the area. Something Green. I always forget the area. I remember it was Laburnum Avenue. I remember the street. I remember our street. Laburnum Avenue, number 7. Was it number 7 or 15? Something like this. The area was Something Green. Ah, man, I don't know, I forgot, but it'll come back to me and I'll put it in the description. I was so young at the time anyway, but yeah, man, North Sides, it was them days there. Our house wasn't, it wasn't big. It was big enough, I'd say, for my parents and for me, being a little child at the time. It was, I think, like 2-bedroom. Small spot, but it was decent for what we needed, innit? Living room, kitchen. It was a London, like, EastEnders, yeah? That was the yard. In terms of layout, yeah. In terms of layout, it's like an EastEnders semi-detached kind of yard, innit? Similar, very similar. Not as big as they make them seem on EastEnders though. But yeah, that layout there, that's the only I could kind of imagine it. But it was nice. We had a back garden and everything. Back garden was never looked after. I ain't gonna lie. I used to hate doing the grass there. Oh, and we had this electric mower as well. I remember we had this electric mowing machine, electric lawnmower. And my dad would make me use that it was almost every month, I swear. Because I swear I was cutting that all the time. I for some reason, I remember that. I remember that grass, and it was hard to cut. because it would be wet as well. The location of the garden, it was like under like some trees, innit? So because it was under trees, even like summertime, the grass would still be moist, bro. And you're trying to cut through it, and it's an electric machine, and the blade of it, it's not a blade that does that. It doesn't do that. The blade spins like that. It does that kind of rotation. You know what I mean? It spins like a car wheel, as opposed to like a proper lawnmower blade. You know, y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Making me got all confused, trying to get all linguistic all on y'all, messing me up, bamboozling me, y'all bamboozling me. But yeah, basically, it spun like that, so it made it super hard to do. So I couldn't be asked. It was always hard business. But still, it's all right though. Basically, my dad, at times, he would take it as well. You know, he was a good father. He's a good father. Amazing father. Love you, Dad. Love ya. But yeah, man, like, it was not the best of yards. And then my parents moved from there to Biggleswade. Ugh. Biggleswade. My gosh. That place there. I mean, let me not even talk smack like it was super bad or it's a place people shouldn't go to or anything like that. No. Just for me, in the time that we went there, the experience I had, it was a mazza. Honestly, it was a mazza. Like, we moved there when I was 7. I must have been 7 years old, yeah? So, like, it's 2 years after London, innit? Must have been 7. We moved to this place, and I'm thinking, yo, new spot with my family. I'm a child. I'm got no care in the world. I'm just loving the experience. Getting to a new school. I had friends at my old school, but, you know, being a child, you don't really, at that age, it's not like you're like, oh, I miss them so much, I don't want to leave. It's just, you know, you're rolling with the flow. You want to experience something new area. Your parents, you know, they'll make it all fancy in your mind and dress it up well to convince you, even though you don't need much convincing because you're a child. Low attention span. But still went there, and to be honest, like, it was one of the experiences that it helped me see, like, how humans can be just in general. The kind of hatred, the kind of confusion we can have about each other without knowing each other, you know? That was the first time I realized it at a young, I was 7, you know? And the reason I went through that is because this area, they didn't have a lot of black people there. Like, I think it was my family and maybe one other family that was black. There was, I think, a couple of Asian families. A few, in fact, because of the shops. There was a few Asian families, but they were dotted around different schools. So I think there was like two primary schools or 3 potentially in that area, and I think there was one like just outside, something like this. But basically, man, I went through some serious, like, just racial abuse as a kid, and you know, it was hard to go through as a child. My parents had to move out of that area because of it. It was all the time at school. It was just literally at school, and there was nothing I could do to avoid it because these were kids I was in classes with daily, and a lot of them were literally the kids from my class. So, you know, and teachers in a lot of cases weren't even taking my side in some scenarios as well, you know? So it was quite obvious that it was racially motivated situations that I was in. And the teachers were just kind of turning a blind eye in a lot of cases. It was only in the very severe ones, you know, when my parents were involved, that they actually ever acknowledge anything. And it's not to say that they're bad people. I'm not even saying that they're bad people, but it's just at the time they weren't used to it. The information that they had about black people, whatever they felt, that was the case, and that was the experience I had. It wasn't a good one, but it's what happened. We're humans. We make mistakes. They might have made mistakes, whatever the case is, whether they're racist or not. You know, we all grow up in different areas. Our minds are molded in different ways, and it's for different reasons. I don't hate a person because of that. I don't have no reason to hold any hate in my heart for anyone. Because we all make mistakes. We're all human beings. We come to realize our mistakes later on, you know, some earlier on, whatever the case is. The only thing I can do is control myself. I don't see any reason to hate anyone. And even at the time, even being a kid, even back then, I didn't hate those kids. Like, honestly, like, it wasn't hatred. Even being a child, I was confused, angry at times, but I never hated. I don't think I've ever hated anyone personally. I don't think I've ever hated anyone. I've never had that feeling inside me to hate someone. I don't think. And I've had I've had bad things. People have said and done bad things towards me, in my direction, to people around me. But still, having hatred inside me, it's like they've won in a way. Not that I've ever thought about it like that, but I mean, personally, I prefer not to have it in me, because I feel like I'm not doing myself any good. I'm allowing them to affect me. I'm allowing their actions to affect how I feel, you know? And it's hard to not feel that way, to be honest. It is, but when it's direct like that, it's better to think that way, better to be that way. It's only the people that matter who you really should care about in terms of, you know, opinions and stuff. But yeah, man, it's a mad thing. The racial abuse was mad, and they had to move me out of that place. But I had some good experiences. Like, I experienced that. It made me understand where I'm from, and, you know, the skin on my body and what it represents, you know. At a young age, I started to open my eyes to the world. And I think when you experience something like that, especially our family, like, my little sister had just been born in Biggleswade. She had just been born in Biggleswade. That was like 2001, sorry. And then, yeah, that was Biggleswade. I remember that. 2001, yeah. And then, yeah, I remember that my little sister, when she was a kid, she was a little baby. She must have been 9 months old, or she might have been just a year, perhaps, but I'm pretty sure she was younger. I was holding her, I lift her up. I'm like, oh, you're so cute. You know, I'm just, you know, giving all those googly eyes, you know, all of that. And then she pukes all up on my mouth, bruv. Like literally white puke. Just thinking about it. It was mad, I'm telling you. Oh my days. Oh my God, I was flabbergasted, and my parents looked at me and they were dying in laughter, bruv. Little did I know, my mum was sat there recording the whole thing, bruv. Literally I'm there thinking, they're sat cuddled up. I look to the side, she's got the camera in my face, bruv. In my face. I felt bamboozled. Completely bamboozled. I was like, y'all knew that was gonna happen, didn't you? Y'all knew. Y'all gotta have known. Y'all knew. I was doing something, you waited, pulled out the camera, and you knew, like, you saw the signs, innit? And I was like, the timing was just too much. It was too much, and I knew. I looked at them and they were laughing so hard, bruv. I had no choice but to laugh. I was just like, you know, everybody laughing, little baby laughing. I'm just like, Everybody, mom's laughing, dad's laughing, little baby laughing. I'm the only one who's just got stuff all over him. And it got infectious, and I just started laughing. I'm a kid. What could I say? Can't blame the guy. Know what I mean? Jeez. Listen, people, this is 2001 Z. 2001 Z. We're talking like 7 years old or something like this. 8 years old. Nah, more. No, wait. Older than that. Damn. Wait. Way old. There. Way older than that. We're talking 9. 9. 9-ish there. Yeah. But real, it was crazy. It was crazy. But yeah, man, I love my little sister regardless of what she did to me. I hold no grudges. I hold no grudges. Maybe that was the first instance where I was like, no, I ain't gonna hate. My sister broke me through. Thank you, little sis. But yeah, man, it was a good experience with my sister. Just that experience there, because it's one I always remember. It will never fade away, And yeah, man. But Biggleswade, it was something else. It was an experience. Zoe, she helped me through a lot of it. She was the only friend I had, literally the only friend I had. She helped me through the whole situation. There was another guy at the school, I think his name is Hussein, Asian brother. He was from Pakistan at the time. He was Pakistan. I knew him at the school. We're in different classes though, so we didn't get to hang out that much. Zoe was in, I think, some of my classes, I believe. I'm not entirely sure, but it's a bit vague, those like in-depth memories in terms of classes and stuff. I just remember I had some issues in some of the classes. Those are the memories that kind of just stuck. The problems I had in the classes more, really. I didn't really remember any good things in class from that time. You can only hold so much memories, but it was an experience, man. Good and bad. It made me learn a lot just about human behavior. That's kind of what made me take everyone with a pinch of salt. But still, at the time, it didn't deter me from doing my thing, meeting people, greeting people, hanging, chilling, flexing, doing the damn thing. It didn't deter me at all. I still would make friends all the time, everywhere I went, always very sociable, Yeah, man, that was always my life, just moving around and stuff. But Biggleswade, that's the first chapter there, people. I'm going to tell you a lot about the next chapter, tell you a lot about what going for Luton, because we moved from Biggleswade, obviously. We couldn't stick around there for too long. We moved from there, went to a spot in Luton, around Luton sides. I'll let you know about that spot. It was alright, it was nice, it was calm, I ain't going to lie. It was an upgrade from the previous digs. The previous digs were fire in Biggleswade anyway. They were hard, but location variables were a bit iffy there. So we had to make a change. But yeah, man, Luton bits though. I'll let you man know. Check out for chapter 2 in the memoirs of Millennial Vlogs. Memoirs. That's what we're gonna go with. The memoirs. You already know. But yeah, man, Millennial Vlogs. Stay tuned for the next memoir. We outie.
Run that back, turbo.